Hopefully we are live. I hope. Are we? Nothing's happening on my screen. Yeah. Brilliant. Oh, let me turn that right down. You should have said 8 p.m, Scott. Yeah, it's Uncle Dave's fault. It is Uncle Dave's fault.
Yeah.
Literally, we have joined Dave while he's munching his food because Uncle Dave works hard with his spiders and even harder at work. So he's literally just come in.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, guys. It's been a bit of a bad day. But yeah, we're here now. We're here now.
Hello, Little Miss Sunshine. Hey, Red Cloud. Hi, Louise. Hey, Ray. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Mon. Hey, Lee. Hey, UK Exotics. Hi, Ray. Hey, Jeanette. Hi, Kaylee. My word. Hey, Philippa Fish. Hey, Dave. Hi, Nat. It's been a little bit warm. And I was just saying today, people don't realise how hot it actually is outside because a lot of people obviously work inside. And if you find an area where it's hi, Laia. Hey, Paul. Hi, Rachel. It's like us at work outside. You get given like a little spot where you're working. And there's never no wind or nothing in it. It's always dry and it's always really hot. And yeah, been one of them days. Hey, KS. Hey, Lewis.
I saw, on today, we hit 32 degrees today. And on the back of my lorry with a PTO flat out, I reckon it's 50 plus.
Easy.
Yeah. And I'm standing up on top of that. And it's like, not good. And it don't do your patience any good. Put it that way.
And I'll come along when your PTO hose blows and replace it.
Yeah, yeah.
My God, that's yeah.
It's been an absolute nightmare day.
Hey, Hey, Link. It's been, I think we did all right in Coventry today. The wife messaged me, hey, Bad Moon, and she's messaging and she's going, oh, it's going to get up to 28 degrees. And I was like, yeah, great. I says, I sent her a picture of the van clocks and it literally said 31. She was like, where are you? I was like, Central Birmingham. It was 33 yesterday.
Wow. Yeah.
Hey, Charlotte.
I've got to ask. There's someone in the chat. Little Miss Sunshine. Does she live in the south?
Is that camera lady? Is that secret agent camera lady?
No. Because I'll tell you for why. Because I know there's a oh, thank you. There's a lorry local round our way with a lady driver, and it's called Little Miss Sunshine. And I'm wondering, is it the same person?
No, they live in Walsall. That's where I was this morning in Walsall.
Right.
On I can't say name of the company, but do you know, like the earth shifters when they're putting the lime down? On a site like that, that was like working in a desert. Hey, Mr. Baxter.
Horrible.
Waiting at 7. Evening, Dave. He says. Evening, Ginge. Oh, hi, John. Temp's gone back to 34 in East Anglia.
Hello, Tim. I got to admit, it was all my fault, and I'm really sorry.
Hey, memorable. But yeah, Uncle Dave come home from work late, hard working guy. So we've literally caught him while he's munching his dinner. But fair play to Dave. He could have said, look, tell him I'll be there at 8 o'clock. I need to eat my dinner first. But they've popped straight in.
If you don't mind watching me, that's all right.
Andy says, glad you started late. I forgot. It's cooler here in Kansas today. Only 84, been 90s past 2 weeks. What's 84 Fahrenheit? Celsius? I don't know. There was a question. Where are we? Let me just scroll back up the page. About how's the tea blondies? Hey, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, darling. You all right?
Better for seeing you.
Yeah, cheers for joining early, Chris. Appreciate it. We literally only just started, dude.
How did you? How many minutes ago?
But
2 or 3.
Ah, perfect.
Somebody was late, Chris. Somebody was late.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Dave, why are you late? The live is delayed so long because of you.
So I think tonight's insult from should go towards Dave myself.
Yeah,
what time is the curfew?
I can't deny it.
I was thinking probably about 8:30 instead of the 9 o'clock.
Sounds good enough.
That's it. I've got a bit of volume now. I can hear you. All right.
Hey, bad mood.
I'll be glad when I get my aircon fixed in my room. It's a bit warm in here at the moment.
I'm getting 32, but that's up like this high. Do you know what I mean? So here's it's only like still 30, 31, so I'm all right with that.
Yeah, the spiders will be fine.
But it's us.
Yeah, we're the ones that are suffering.
Got the fan down. Got the fan on the floor, literally just blowing air up. So if you can hear that on the microphone, do apologise. But yeah,
that's fancy.
Yeah, like Ling says, don't be moaning about the weather.
I got my checkbook today in the post.
You got your what?
Don't work outside, standing on top of a
checkbook. I can write a check to anybody.
It's like I was saying before the live, David. It's when you're repairing machinery that's leaking, but they carry on using it, and then they park it on the dustiest, most sort of dead part of the site. You got your sun coming down. It's so hot. The machine's hot.
Yeah.
You just crack on, don't you? Imagine trying to go to class when it's a 38 outside, and you have classmates who think that's cold and put the AC to 43. Wow. Tarantula Lex says hello from Austria.
Hey.
Lee's got a paddling pool out for himself and a fan on for the Scorpions. KS says I'd rather have it hot than cold. Yeah. Yeah. You munch your dinner now. What we got for dinner, Dave? What have we got?
I only had beans on toast. It's so thrown together quick. I've had such a miserable day that when I got home, she said to me, what do you want for dinner? I just said, just do me beans on toast. I've not got the energy to do anything else. Not got the energy to eat anything else. So I had beans on toast, proper old school. And I've just had a trifle as well. That was really nice. Right. I'm with you 100% now. I'm fully fueled.
It's not bad idea, Red Cloud. What did I have? I had sea bass.
Oh, wow.
And a little bit of sea on the grill pan. And then I had rice with meat because of the diet.
You've been doing well.
And the wife and the kids. The wife and the kids have had pasta bake with minced cheese and everything. So they're eating that now. So I'm quite glad I'm down here. Because
not
you
sorry,
don't want to be smelling all that.
Your microphone is Do you have your fan on again?
Yeah, but it's a completely different setup, Chris.
Well, it's still echoing, and I'm pretty sure it's your end. Hold on. Yeah, 100% your end. I hold on. Dave, say something, please.
Yep. Yeah. What do you want?
Yeah, it's definitely Scott's end somewhere. Sorry. It basically.
Well, I'm not.
You know that means you're
I'm
going to
normally on.
that fan off.
I'm not on the phone this week, so you have to put up with the echo. I don't. There shouldn't be one because I'm not got my phone here, so I'm not on my phone now. I'm on the laptop, so that's a bit strange.
This is modern technology, isn't it? It's an absolute pain.
Unless, let me just go to my.
I think
audio.
Your microphone is echoing to your speaker, so your speakers are echoing into the microphone.
Is that better?
Oh, you're louder.
You're louder, but
is that better or?
No, you can hear the fan more.
It's even worse.
I could turn the fan off. Let's turn it off. The squeakies are churling. There we go. How's that? Hello?
Go on.
Better? It's the fan! I want my fan on! It's coming on periodically, end off. Yeah, but we had, I had sea bass and rice with veg, and Tara's got the minced pasta with tons of cheese on, and no doubt it tastes horrible, you know.
Yeah, you don't want none of that rubbish. Yeah, I think, oh, excuse me. No, the old diet's coming on well, isn't it?
Oh, mate, I can't. Yeah, my mum wants me to slow down a bit. She was like, "I think you might be losing a bit too much," and I'm like, "No." 15 stone 6 I was over the weekend, down from 17. Started the gym, so the old muscles are going to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. He says that, but look at them bad boys already, taking the creatine and all sorts, man.
You're a big lump anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's from that. I used to be really skinny, and I started training when I was in my early 20s, and I got up to 15 stone, but I was like this, a big boy. Pictures are all on my Facebook and that. So I kind of, muscle memory apparently.
Mm.
What's Lex say?
Fair play.
Says, I'm listening. So, but yeah, I just it was the thing that did it. Ling took a picture of me from the side, and I saw the belly, and I saw all my cheeks, and I was like, "That's not me.
Yeah,
that's not me." I've never. I was like, and then I started panicking that what am I doing to my heart?
Mm. Yeah, you got to be careful.
But yeah, that's that. Hey, Raven, you all right? What's that? I'm listening, but I have to get the heart bacteria porcupine babies out of the terrarium. I actually wanted to get the cocoon out on Friday. Well, it happens, says Lex.
It happens. Yeah, it happens.
Ling says, is there an Asian fossorial species that you haven't worked with yet?
Probably loads, I should imagine. I tell you what, though, I don't tend to look at them as individuals. So I find most of them you can put them into groups, and their care and everything else is so similar that the vast majority of the time, this is what makes me wonder a little bit when people sort of like when they buy a new spider or whatever, and they try to research a spider. You only really need to research the family, and then that will give you most of what you need.
No meaning.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think, and also as well, you think even without families, even like old world, new worlds, the vast majority of what is in the hobby, most of it fits under similar guidelines. There's not a lot of real mucking around. I don't find anyway. I tend to treat most of them pretty much the same.
The setups are very similar. They're either fossorial or boreal, or that's it. Because terrestrial, I think the word terrestrial with the hobby is there's not many actual terrestrials, if you like. Most of them, even the stuff that we say is terrestrial, as you know, Dave, will burrow even if it's slightly. So if you set up a decent amount of substrate, and that's it. You've got your three categories, and then you're only looking at really humidity and temperatures. But the majority of spiders out there are happy in here at the temperatures, and probably the same with you.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I mean, it's sort of like it does dictate a little bit about what I keep. Because things like some of the panther beetles and that, they prefer it a little bit cooler. So my room tends to be a bit warm for most of them. So things like that. But there's very few spiders that do that. So, you know what I mean? You can keep the majority of stuff all the same within your room. You know, there'll be slight parameters. And the only thing I worry about really is I affect the temperatures by just putting them in different areas in the room. So like higher up, it'll be a lot warmer. Lower down, it's that little bit cooler. And that is enough. You know, you don't need to get any more technical than that, really.
When the sun's not warm in this shed, at the moment, it tends to be 30, 31 from floor to ceiling. But normally it's like 26, 25 down the bottom, and then it's 28 up this height for a long time. But I think you're right. I mean, panthers, if I get them, they'll be going in the house. And I'm not going. But yeah,
I think
the wife's told me never again are any going in the house, but you know, yes, they are. They certainly will.
Yeah, I think even with those, you could probably keep them in the lower part of your room and get away with it. They'll be fine. It's only really if you want to start trying to breed them, then you need them cooler temperatures and stuff like that. And, you know, it starts to make a difference. Breeding, I think this is where a lot of people sort of go wrong. Breeding our spiders is an entirely different thing to just keeping our spiders. You know, spiders are very, very good at being able to acclimatize to a whole host of different situations, and they'll do it admirably, you know, really, really well. But it will play a part in their breeding. So that's when we need to start being a bit more careful with things like temps, humidity, stuff like that. That all is more important when we're trying to breed. When we're just keeping, we just maintain
example.
It's what, sorry?
Tim Baxter says Mesmelis being a prime example.
Very much so.
If you keep them too warm, regardless, they're going to die.
Yeah, Again, I mean, mine didn't do well at all. It didn't like the room, and even when I tried to get it right down, it still did not fare well. So yeah, I say there are certain ones that you really need to sort of do it, but the vast majority of stuff, it's not that bad.
Ray Hale says back in the early days, they used to call them before the pairing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed this, Dave, because you mean my breeding experience is very limited, so I'm going to have to go off what I'm not used to, basically. But I have spoke to other people. I'm not going to name them, but they have said, like, when it comes to that temperature drop, you don't have to take them like a seriously low like they do in the wild. Literally, some species you can drop like 2 or 3 degrees, and they'll feel that temperature, and then you're literally conditioning them from that point.
Yeah, I think it's. I think everything's different. So, like, you know, you need to look at your species. I mean, things like the majority of your avics and stuff, you don't need to touch at all. You can pretty much keep them going because they're wild. In the wild, their temperatures don't really vary that much. But what does happen is you get a change in humidity, but their temperatures are fairly good. So they get a real wet season, and then they get a little bit drier. So that will play a part in their conditioning. But yeah, I don't think I've found personally, when I've played around with temperatures, I like to make it a little bit more drastic, if you like. to me, 2 or 3 temperatures, I'll get that change in here daily anyway this time of year. You know, it'll move about all the time. So to actually condition a spider, I personally think it would probably need more. But I work on the theory of how we used to do a lot of the reptiles, and we used to you know, brumate a lot of our reptiles before we paired them up, and that was the only way that you would get viable breedings. You know, and our spiders, some of our spiders are very much the same sort of way. You know, they need it, and I think you know, especially any spider that comes from a country where there is seasonal changes, then it's going to be an important thing. And I think that's probably where we fail a lot with things like the Brazilian blacks and stuff like that. I think it's not because our spiders are difficult to think. I think it's because people just try to pair them and do the same thing as they do with everything else, and it's not enough. And it might be a case of sometimes you get it with snakes, that sometimes you can brumate a snake and then pair it and not get anything, and you can try again the following year, not get anything, try again the following year, not get anything, and then next year it breeds, and you're like, well, what did I do different? What changed? What it might have been is just the fact that it took 3 or 4 years to get that cycle going. Do you see what I mean? And it's like sometimes they're a different thing.
That could be what Tim's just mentioned. That because he's just said he found when he moves his specimens into the scorpion shed, he's found they just adapt to our summer and winter, and that's helped with the pairing.
Yeah. So it's like what we've got it now. We've got it really, really warm at the moment, and it doesn't matter how well insulated your building is, or your room, or your house, or whatever you do. There is going to be, you know, quite drastic changes in the environment that your spider or scorpion lives in, and we can't affect that. That is something we can't really change. And what you got to remember is that these animals are very finely tuned into what they're doing in their own habitat. So when we get these big spikes and drops and things in our environment, this is why many spiders, as soon as the heat hits our areas, many of them will go into molt. You've probably seen it on Facebook now. Everyone's like, "Oh, my spiders are all molting out." You know?
Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's. Yeah. I mean, I've had loads of molts this week.
Yeah. But the funny thing is why don't people take that information and use it
in breeder?
And this is what I've been saying all along. It's like people always say about brackies being really slow. Well, that's because you keep them at your household room temperature. If you kept them warm like they like it, they will grow a lot quicker. You know, they'll eat more, they'll get into a better routine, and everything will speed up.
Ray's just said with the brackies was a prime example that they used to be cooled. Bred them a lot after dropping them a decent amount for the breeding, not general keeping.
Yeah, because you'll find like with them, their nighttime temperatures go really cool. Their winter temperatures drop down quite substantially as well, and this all affects everything. So when they cool down, they become a whole lot less active. Their body goes through a cycle where they start using up their reserves because they're not feeding. They're not going out catching food because the chances are the food ain't there to catch anyway. So everything changes and they start using up their internal fats and what have you. And that is what they live on while they're brumating, while they're hibernating, as it were. And then when they come out, the temperature starts rising again. They come out, there's an abundance of food, and now they get a glut of it. They start feeding, so they put on weight really quickly. This brings their system into thinking, right, this is a good time to get laid. You know, we need to get reproducing now and get sorted out. And,
Alex, they've been for a long time.
So, do you know what I mean? So all of these things are all coming together, and they switch that switch in the spider or the snake or whatever it is, and that brings them into that cycle, and that is all we're trying to do. We're trying to replicate that, but sometimes it's not as easy as we first think. You know, sometimes there's some subtle things that we miss.
Hey, so what's the most common thing that you've seen kind of going around Facebook and everywhere else that people do miss when it comes to breeding? Hey, Mark's got a channel member for 48 months. Cheers, Mark. Appreciate it, dude.
That's cool. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah, what do you reckon's the most common thing that's overlooked or missed when it comes to breeding in your opinion, Dave?
I think a lot. I think probably the most common thing is probably just a lack of understanding the process of what you're trying to do, what you're trying to achieve. There's a lot of people, especially like people that are beginners that are sort of fresh to it all. They just think it's a case. I mean, I've had people say to me before, it's just a case of, well, you just get a male, you get a female, stick them together, they do it, and off you go. Well,
that's hobby. That's exactly what I thought when I joined the hobby. Is kind of 9-10 years ago.
Yeah, and I mean, unfortunately, you'll get through a lot of spiders with that kind of attitude because it's, you need to learn, and this is why I'm a firm believer in. If you're fresh and new into the hobby, then learn how to look after your animals correctly. And once you've got that down to par and you gain some experience. And when I say experience, I don't mean get lots of different spiders. You could, just for argument's sake, just keep one particular spider. Say for argument's sake, a brachy. You get a brachy hamori, and you just think, right, that's a spider for me. Learn how to look after that spider, keep it really, really well, understand it, and, get as much research as possible. And then maybe after you fully understand what you're doing and how you're doing it, then make a look at perhaps trying to breed it. But learn. And I mean, it comes back to what we were just saying about the molting and the temperatures. Why are people not taking that information? Every year we see it. We get a little spike in the heat. We're in really hot weather. All of a sudden, Facebook's awash with, wow, all my spiders are molting. They're all molting. So
every year.
That information is not being used. They don't sit back and think to themselves, oh, maybe my spider does actually like the heat, But they don't. They still sit there and go, oh, no, it's fine. It's kept in a cold cupboard somewhere. It's fine. It's perfectly fine because everyone says it just needs room temperature, Well, come winter time, it won't like room temperature very much at all. When it's 30 degrees outside, it will quite happily sit in room temperature and it'll be fine. But the thing is that information is there. It's staring you in the face, but it's amazing the amount of people that don't see it.
I
think, Ray just said there about keeping records. I'm having to start doing more and more of that because I used to keep everything in my head. I would know all my individual spiders and what they were doing, and because it was only me dealing with them, it was very easy for me to stay in touch with everything. But I've got to admit, now I'm starting to get a little bit older. My memory's getting a little bit more shot, and good records. I mean, this is something we were always taught in the zoo world. Good records is good husbandry, and the good thing about it as well is the fact that you can pick up your records and go back years. If you've been keeping them a long time, you can go back years and pick bits of information. And often or not, if you're having trouble with one particular thing, the answer will be in your records.
How many times have you heard somebody asking for breeding advice and everybody says, oh, I don't know, but go check arachnoboards.
Yeah.
Online, because you've got since the start of the internet, people have been putting their breeding projects and everything else onto arachnoboards. And then it's all about listening to what you're saying. It's all about checking those rhythms throughout the whole year and picking your spots.
Yeah, I think for like we're saying, I think the majority of stuff you don't need to worry, you know. But there's some of the species that are giving us problems in the hobby are the ones that we really need to. I think, you know, they're the ones that need to be given a proper seasonal year, if you like. Yeah, I'd have no qualms about dropping things down to really cold temperatures. Just let them go into a stupor for maybe a month or two. You know, the majority of centipedes, a lot of them are brumated and cooled right down, really, really cool, and they almost die. You know, they go so lethargic, but you have to be careful. It's the same when you know, anyone who does reptiles will know this. You need to make sure that it's actually empty before you do it. It's no good cooling something down if it's got a gut full of stuff. It needs to be clean, which basically means it couldn't have had anything to eat for the last few weeks, and it needs to have cracked out any excrement that it's got in it. It needs to be clean. We do the same thing with fish. You think even like koi in ponds and stuff like that, you know, you can feed them through the winter if you're careful with what you give them. But if you're not going to feed them, you need to stop feeding them before the temperatures drop too low. Because what happens is once the temperature drops to a certain point, they then stop being able to digest the food. And then what happens is that food then goes off in their gut and in turn kills them. So, you know, these are all things you need to be sort of taking into account. It's not a straightforward thing. You know, I often get people ask me, they message me and they're like, oh, you know, how should I do this? How should I do that? And it's very, very difficult to answer the question in a very, you know, in an easy way. Everyone's circumstances are slightly different, and there's so many grey areas, and only experience really will get you through them areas. So you just have to be patient. If you're new at it, just keep plodding on, take your time. You know, you'll get there. You'll do it. I'm still learning now. You know, there's still stuff, you know, that I sort of sit and think, oh, I really want to try and breed that. And yeah, because I like a bit of a challenge. I mean, I've had it with my Theraphosas. For some reason or other, my Theraphosas, when they've had viable sacs, and I've had viable sacs with all of them, they've all dumped them in the water bowls. So, like this time round, I'm like, there's going to be no water bowls. I'm not taking that chance again, you know. And it's like, you know, why? And then you also get the ones that produce a sac, and you leave them with it. You might leave them with it for 8-9 weeks, and then you pull it and find out it's infertile. So then you sort of ask, you've got lots of questions to be asked now. You know, was your female at fault? Was your male at fault? Was there something you done? Was the temperatures not right? You know, there's so many different things. It's not a straightforward thing. And I think
have you cracked GBBs finally?
No, not since last time, because I had just before I moved, I got egg sacs, and they destroyed them. They literally destroyed them, and I was absolutely gutted. And since then, I've not tried them. Although saying that, my female, I mean, I haven't really bred anything for the past 18 months, really. I've been out of the loop completely, but we're now just getting to that point now where I'm just starting to pair bits and pieces up. But I have got a GBB that's just recently molted, so I will be trying her again. I've got a couple of males, so yeah, we're gonna give it another go, see what happens. But yeah, I mean, it's funny actually. It's like it's weird how certain spiders, and it doesn't have to be a fancy spider either. I mean, I can't remember who it was, but I was talking to someone, and they were saying about the Pia. It's what, sorry?
Oh, Hannah just says, how do you prepare your spiders for breeding? But it's more like, well, what species are you referring to?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I have to go for the ones that I don't have to cool down.
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird thing. As I was about to say, the Pia Minia, I find them really straightforward, easy. I mean, they do it all themselves. And yet I was talking to someone earlier in the year, and they were like, it don't matter how many times I've tried, I can never breed the bloody Pia Minia. They just don't breed. So it doesn't have to be a fancy spider to be your nemesis. You know, it can be a real sort of easy spider. But
my two nemesis is Geniculata and LP. They just don't pair.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what Steve was saying. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I've had no trouble pairing up them in the past. They've always been really, really good. And this is what I'm saying about everyone's. It's not a question you can answer in a straightforward way, because everyone's circumstances and things are different. You know, what I struggle with, you might find really, really easy, and vice versa.
Just think that could come down to like one, individual room temperatures as we were speaking about, but then humidity levels, because my humidity level, air temperature of my shed's going to be different to Chris's, going to be different to yours, and yours are going to be different to one another's. Do you think it comes down to that when people go, I can't breed this certain spider, I can't get, or compare them, can never get an egg sac?
I think one of the things that's not taken into account, and it's something that I've been thinking a lot more of the last couple of years, is barometric pressure.
For molting purposes?
For breeding as well.
Because
I've had, now since we've moved, right, in my old place when we were in the flat, I had no issues with breeding most things. Most things just went, and it worked really well. And also, even husbandry side of things worked really well. I had no issues with my roaches. My roaches just bred like mad. Now, since we've moved and we've been here, I've struggled with my roaches. I've had a real job getting my colonies to kick off. Some of them have literally just died off altogether, and I've had to start again. And now I've got them in their own room. I've built a shed, and I've actually got them in there, and I've got more control over it. Hey?
You did the tour the other day.
Yeah.
It was impressive. I haven't commented on it yet, but that was very impressive.
Oh, right. Oh, the room tour? Was it the room one? Yeah.
The one with the roaches, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the roach shed, yeah. Well, we see, now I've got them in there, they're actually now starting to kick off again. But I've also noticed some of the spiders that I never had issues with, I've had issues with here. Now, my husbandry and everything is all the same. So the only thing that can change is the room that it's kept in. There's something there that is different. And the only thing that really probably changes is barometric pressure. That's the only thing I've got no control over. So I can keep the room at the same temperature that I kept my old room at, but it's not enough.
Did you say it was a flat last time?
Yeah.
How high up?
Oh no, not high. I mean, we were no different to like a house. We were only like the second floor of a house. That's all. Yeah.
So when it comes to height wise, the pressures would have been very, very similar anyway. Well, extremely similar, I would have thought.
You'd think so, but then inland pressures are different to coastal pressures.
How far away from your old place have you moved? How many miles?
Probably about 24 miles or so. No, it's about 15. I'm thinking of work. It's about 15 miles. Yeah, maybe 15 miles. But you'll get different pressure from like in a city location compared to a country location. Different things. It's just something that's sort of like, it makes you wonder. These are questions that I end up sitting here asking myself. Because I can't put my finger on it. So if I can't find out what it is, I work for a case of elimination. So I basically go back through it all and think of exactly, I do this the same. And this is one thing that makes my life a lot easier, is I do everything the same all the time. I treat everything the same all the time, and this is why I've probably never been bitten, and I don't have hassles, because I do everything the same, and it's in it when you start having problems, it's real easy to try and find out what the difference is, what's changed.
Dave just Alan says memorable misfits says when it comes to breeding triggers for certain spiders, do you give much consideration to the photo period?
Yeah, see, that's an interesting.
Longer, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. If you were cycling your spiders, and by cycling I mean conditioning, if you were cycling them, you would then, in effect, if you were giving them a cool period and a warm period, you would in effect change the light period as well. So it stands to reason that the warmer you get, the longer the days are going to be. The cooler it is, the shorter the days are going to be. So yeah, you could play around with that. I've not done much with that myself. I haven't really done much with that. The only thing that I've done with that was way back, many years ago, when we were breeding boas, and because we didn't have thermostats and what have you then, we used to heat a lot of stuff using bulbs. And so what I used to do is when I was brumating them, I could keep my actual room at a steady temperature. And what I would do was I would turn everything else off and leave the curtains open. So basically, they would have got, although they were at a lower temperature, they would have got the daylight hours that we had. So because it would have been I've been doing them in winter, it wouldn't get properly light till probably 8 o'clock in the morning, and it would be dark again by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You see, so they would have got through it.
Just very quickly, it's slightly off topic, but Joanne says, Dave, my daughter just said she loves watching you on the YouTube with her.
Oh, that's lovely. That's really cool. What's her name? What's her daughter's name?
She hasn't put that on yet.
She hasn't put it yet.
Hello, daughter. Hello, daughter.
Chimpy will come back with one.
No, Esma.
Esma. Beautiful
Hello,
name.
Esma. Hello, Esma.
KS says, I see more activity with my spiders, scorpions, and roaches when we have storms and active storms building. And I figure it's the pressure again. We can get some really strong storms over in Kansas.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly, because KS is over in Kansas, so their storms are going to be 100 times worse than ours. So they are literally watching that barometric pressure changing every single time, a lot more effectively than what we are.
Yeah, you think tropical storms? Tropical storms are a different thing.
I wonder if there's species in this country that are not brilliant, just purely because our pressures are completely different, and we're not getting those tropical storms.
Yeah, I think there's more to it than meets the eye. You know, I think there is, and I think some of the species that are proving really difficult to actually breed, whether it's in this country, in Europe, or abroad, you know, we've all got different circumstances, and every now and again, one of them tricky spiders will be bred by someone, and then, you know, so then you got to try and find out what was it that actually triggered that, what made that work, and the real proof in the pudding is if they manage to do it again and again, because you learn nothing from a first breeding. You know, if you manage to breed something now, that does not mean you've cracked it, because you need to breed it again next year, and then again the following year. Then you can say, I've got this cracked. I know what the key points are, and this is what we're doing. But until you can do it on a regular basis, then you've not really cracked the code, I don't think.
No, you just got lucky that once, I suppose.
Yeah. It's
Well,
trying to find out what made it work.
To be fair though, Dave, for a lot of us, pairing them once, getting a successful egg sac, that's all we want.
Yeah,
And then,
very much so.
and then you just try and pair another species. I think the problem we've got is we don't live long enough to do it all.
Yeah, I mean the other common question I often get asked about with a breeding is, do we know what the sex ratios are in a sack? You know, but who
different species, I suppose. But
well, you say that, but I mean, you would imagine there's got to be some kind of natural formula. But the point is who gets to keep 600 spiderlings for 3 or 4 years to find it out? No one.
I know it's a lot easier in humans, isn't it?
I might be doing that experiment with curly hairs because I have 600 from my first breeding.
Ah, there you go.
Ooh,
but then you see the problem is then you'll gather all that information and you'll sit there and, let's say for argument's sake, we find out that 70% of them was female and 30% of them were males, right? Is that the answer? Are they 70-30 split?
I have another sack from the same female, so I'm going to check that with that one.
Yeah.
They're growing out.
But what you need to do is you need to pair your spiders in different conditions. Because
how many males female ratio and
was the male ratio dictated to by temperature when the egg sac was laid? And do you know what? The only way we could ever find that out is about...
You're thinking with your reptile history again, aren't you?
Yeah, but I mean, the only way you can find this out is with like 30 or 40 years of data.
Well, funny you should say that. Razor Hale over at the British Tarantula Society. Again, if you're not a member of the BTS, you should be. If one of the moderators, Tim, if you could put the link to the BTS into the comments, I'd be very much appreciative. Razor says, we have records dating back 30 years and noticed that spiders tended to molt at certain times of the month. For example, we noticed that there was an increase in molting during certain periods, often between a full moon and a new moon, the darkest time of the month. I suppose at the darkest point of the month is probably when they feel the safest and the most hidden. Because I mean, I think we spoke about it before, Dave. When a spider's molting, they are at the most vulnerable. Hence, they can throw out. Hence, a lot of them can throw out a lot of web and then go down to their burrow and molt down there, so they feel protected. So when Ray's referring to being the darkest time of the month to be molting in, I think logically it just sounds, yeah.
I think it's a really interesting. I mean, it's such a debatable thing. It's fantastic, but I mean, it's an interesting thing. You take my room for example. How would you know when there was a full moon or what? How would you know? You would never know. No.
So that's taking that moon situation away from it then, and then now your spiders are literally going. When's Dave the Spider God turning the light on and off?
Yeah. So what it means now is what you need now. If you've got like Ray was saying, they've got like 30 years of data there. It would be interesting now to find out say for argument's sake, what the barometric pressures were at their moon cycles on them years. So then you could go back and say, for argument's sake, in 1980, in September, there was a full moon on this day and the barometric pressure was this. In 1981, was it the same? You've got all this information is there. All the weather information is there. We can probably get a lot of that online going back many, many years. So the interesting thing is, although what Ray is saying about like the moon cycles That's really conceivable. It is, but it's probably not on its own. It will be other things with it that will make it.
When the moon goes across us at night time, it obviously controls the seas. So it pulls the seas inland, pushes them out, and all the rest of it. When the sea comes in, to compare to when the sea goes out, there's going to be a shift in that pressure range, isn't there?
Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, I tell you, it's such a fascinating subject, and there is no definitive line because everything is interconnected. You know, it's all connected, and it's not really just one thing. It's a whole host of things that culminate in one thing.
Ray says that's easy to do. He's probably got it, the info.
It would be so interesting, wouldn't it, to find out? It really would be interesting because it could literally be the key to so many different things that
would be a very, very interesting read.
Yeah, I mean, it would take some serious research and understanding to sort of like fathom it all out. But you know, I don't believe that any one thing is the answer. I think it's a combination of stuff. And what happens is when sometimes we get that freak pairing that works, it just meant that everything just rolled in at the same time and it all worked at once. But when we fail, it's probably because one portion of it wasn't correct. You know, it's not just one thing. And this is why when people ask, how do I breed this? We can't really answer it. You can only give, you know, like a vague guideline of what you do. That's all you can do.
You can say, well, I kept it roughly at this temperature for this long, dropped it, and then look at the humidities that you did. But again, it's just your conditioning is going to be different to others because of those pressures and what you've just discussed.
Yeah. Yeah. Also as well with, like, you know, what you feed, you know, how you feed, all sorts of different things. There's lots of different things that can probably play a part.
So now, Swar Wolf says, being such sensitive creatures that they are, couldn't they possibly feel the gravitational pull from the moon being in those phases, possibly almost like an alarm clock, but with a gravitational field? Now, I think don't birds migrate because of it as well as? And then, do you know, like, I can't remember the name. There's a river in America where the mayflies, the larvae all explode at the same time every year. It literally almost to the o'clock. I wonder if that's kicking it all off. Is the pressures, the temperature, and the humidity?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
We're saying the moon phases, but moon phases affect pressure of the air.
Hey, Steve.
Pressure. So there's again goes to what Dave's been saying about pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
Moon phases affect pressure.
Yeah, it does. Everything is linked, and if you think about it, every living animal is designed to behave and react in its own way, and that's what makes it an individual. You know, and we're all affected by different stuff. You know? I mean, I tend to get when it gets really hot and humid quite often, like when we get that real low pressure, I find that gives me a bit of a headache. You know, it's sort of like it feels like it's crushing you. Well, you know, if you imagine how we feel like that, and yet we only use, I think it says something like about 1% of our actual capability do we actually use. Whereas you think a spider is so sensitive to its surroundings all around it. I mean, like now, I'm sitting in my room. The vibrations of my voice in this room, every single spider in there will be picking that up. And they'll all be sitting there thinking, what the hell's going on now? Because this don't normally happen. You know, why is he in here at this time of day? You know, it'll all be, there's so much stuff. And this is why I say when you're handling your spiders, when you come to prepare them, when you're doing rehouses, be 100% aware that every tiny little movement you do feels like an absolute, like a bomb going off to your spider. You know,
I've been in flats when I've seen, this is like going back in the early days, and I've seen breedings taking place. I've been in a flat where there's music banging and there's traffic like you would not believe, and the spiders have still gone, did their thing. And then I've been in other places where people, where the same thing's happening, and they've gone to pair and they've just gone, nah.
Yeah.
KS again from Kansas. So bear that in mind. I've seen quite a few people comment that they are seeing the henses here and Texas, Oklahoma in the past month or so. See them in large quantities starting in August, breeding males.
Yeah.
That's some good info.
See, what you probably find there then, I'm not sure. This would just be a stab in the dark because I've not bred them, but in the wild case, and I've not looked into what they do in the wild, but where she's saying there that the males are starting to appear, now and going forward, you would assume then that your males are pairing with females over the next couple of months. Yeah. Then, depending on what month of the year are they in now? They're the same as us, aren't they? Surely, is it? I can't work out how it works out. They're the same, aren't they? So yeah. So if the males are pairing now, then them females are holding that sperm until they make a sack next spring, isn't it? Yeah,
that would make
migration, like you said about the henses. There is migration season now in Texas.
Yeah, so they will be mating now because the males will die before the winter comes. So they will pair up now. Them females won't lay a sack this side of the summer. I wouldn't have thought. I don't know. So do they hold that sperm over the winter period and produce it in the spring? Because you wouldn't want young spiderlings this side of winter.
No, because the winter's gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna knock them all out. So you would expect that them females will hold that sperm, carry it through the brumation period of their winter, which is damn cold. Then they would as they come out of brumation, they will then feed, put on weight, produce a sack, look after it. They would then hatch that sack in the spring. Them spiderlings have got the rest of the spring and the whole of the summer to grow before they hit their first winter. If they was to hatch this side of winter, like this summer, they would be hatching in the middle of summer. Well, middle to end of summer, which doesn't give them a lot of time to put on body weight and all the rest of it to get them through the winter. Does that make sense?
Does, yeah.
So that then brings us back to what we were saying in the beginning, that many of these spiders need to be brumated, but they need to be paired before we brumate them, not afterwards.
That makes sense. Big time.
Yeah. So you see what I mean? So like we're just throwing things out there, and someone's come in and said about that, and we're now sort of picking it apart, and we're now sort of thinking, hang on a minute, we've just had a eureka moment, And
absolutely.
It now starts to unfold, and we learn more, and we start doing it. And if we've got them particular species, we can now sit there and think to ourselves, do you know what? That all makes perfect sense. So where am I now? I'm now at this point in time in this month. So what I need to do now is get myself a male, because the males are on the hunt now. So if I can get a male now, I can then pair them up. I can go on Google. I can find out where in Kansas and Oklahoma it starts getting cold. That's when I'll call my female down. I'll put her in a box in the shed. She can go and freeze her 8 little toes off for the winter. And then I'll bring her out. We'll feed her up, warm her up, see if she produces a sack. We've got a plan. We're there.
Ray said, Ray Hale, Selacosmia lyra that produced a phantom egg sac every year at the same time for us for years, to the week. Ling asked him if he could find a male, but he said it was in the 90s. It was 1990. That's some history from 1990. Like, well, jeez.
That's fantastic. Absolutely. Do you know what? That sort of information is so valuable as a whole. You know, it's just incredible. It's just such valuable stuff. You know, and this is why it's important.
Again, Kansas KS. They appear in larger numbers in late summer and the early fall. So late summer to early autumn.
That comes back to what we were saying then, doesn't it? They pair up before
you were saying, not more credit. Definitely.
Yeah, they pair up before the cold period.
Hey, videos by the Mad Animal House. You think that natural food sources will increase in the spring time with the emergence of the spiderlings?
Yeah, that's what we've been saying.
There is actually a BTS article in the journals. And again, if you guys want to go and check that out, I'll put the link in to the BTS. Go join up.
Yeah.
And let me just scroll back up to Ling's comment. Where are we? There she is. So Ling says, what is your theory, Dave, on why females molt after pairing just before the season comes in of dropping?
The molt after pairing just before the season.
You hear it all the time.
Oh, what you mean? You mean molting rather than producing a sack?
Let me just stop you because Chris is just giving me a little wink and a nod. In 5 minutes' time or 4 minutes' time now, at 8:30, we do have adult conversation. We do have swearing. So if you've got any kids watching, please remove them from watching the live stream because Chris will take no prisoners. Tonight and tonight only, because Dave's coming late, Dave's going to get the full front of it, I hope. Normally, he normally calls me every name, every swear word under the sun at 9 p.m. But tonight, because we started so early, the watershed is 8:30. And because Dave knackered it up and come in about, 9:45 tonight, Chris will give him a bit of crap as well as. But yeah, we'll see.
I'll just have to stay a bit longer. That's all. I'll just have to stay later. Make up for it.
That'll happen in 4 minutes' time. So if you're new to the stream, you'll hear a lot of swearing at 8:30 while Chris relieves himself, and then after that, he talks a little. Razor said he's way back. He's going to go and have a look for it. Hey, Jason. Let's say, let's say the female copulates and holds the male's sperm until the colder seasons have passed. It is becoming the seasons we would assume they would be preparing to drop, but then molts.
Oh, right. I see. Yeah, I understand.
The sperm just dies at that point. I wonder if they hold it for too long.
Well, not really, because that would be in their makeup. That is what they're designed to actually work in that particular way. That species would be designed to do it in that way. Yeah, it's an interesting thing to work out why they molt out. I think maybe in the wild, maybe it would be maybe a case of either they have a glut of food, and it's possible that maybe they literally just, because don't forget they're continuously growing as well, so they're always outgrowing their skin. So it might be a case that they grow faster than the climatic changes are before they're ready. Does that make sense? So like, I suppose to put it in sort of like layman terms, if we were in June and we would normally be preparing to make a sack, but we end up adding a glut of food in June, that would then obviously put them into like an overweight situation, if you like. And that might promote them into molting because they can no longer stay within their exoskeleton.
Tim says it's always awkward.
Well, yeah, there is always that. Yeah. I think, and it also it might even be down to something like parasites or anything like that. There could be a lot of reasons why a spider would molt. But yeah, I mean, it might have even been that you might get a case of where, you know,
Less
are
than-
all the males viable?
Less
You know,
than a
there's
minute
nothing to
warning.
Yeah, there's nothing to say that all the males are viable either. You know, there's so many different things. I mean, we used to get it before, like in a zoo, with different mammals. You know, you can sit there and it was. You think back when I was there, a lot of stuff was being sort of learned, especially the things like the veterinary side of stuff. So you couldn't, you know, it wasn't until later years that you could actually take a sperm sample from a male and find out whether he was actually viable or not. You know, you might have been trying to breed this thing for the past 10 years just to find out he's been firing blanks for all this time, you know. But we never knew that in the early days. So it's only sort of like as time goes on, we learn more. The veterinary side of stuff picked up, and we could then find out, which would save a lot of time.
Scott, you're a fucking piece of shit. Shut your fucking ugly gob, you fucking bald fucking ass cunt. Where's your fucking hair, you fucking wank, you flat ass fucking ugly cunt. Fucking ginger twat.
Where was Dave's abuse?
You fucking piece of shit. Dave, you're a very pretty guy.
Oh, thank you very much. I love you too.
Mate.
That's our watershed. So now we do flat asses thing. So we do swear. We do have our adult conversation. So we gave you plenty of warning. So there we go.
I'm perfect fucking timing.
Perfect timing.
Where were we?
Males not being viable. Females could be the same because I have one female. I've paired the same female and another one with the same male multiple times. Like I had sex from both of them. One female is always good sack, or the one never had a good sack. Always like black and gooey.
This is the thing, you see. When we get our spiders, we automatically assume that they're all 100% working order.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
And we're going just what Ling's just said. Females change as they age. Hormonal changes forces their bodies to say no. So we could buy or have an adult female in our collection that's just too old, but for all intents and purposes, and to the eye, they look absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It's not even too old. It's just like I said, from that female, I think I had 4 or 5 sacks in total now, and not a single one.
It's like Balfours. This is the only one that I can think of from experience. Balfours tend to pair pretty easy, but John's got some really old females which will just destroy the male. Their character is just completely different to what you'd normally expect a Balfour to be like. But I think that these are really old spiders, and he seems to be very, very, very extremely. I don't like saying aggressive, but they seem more aggressive than what they would be defensive.
Is that because they know, you know what I mean? They
can't do
nothing. They might just be a bit of an old girl, cranky. You know, she don't want that kind of interest in her. You know, so she attacks.
Human male.
yeah. I mean, it is literally that. I mean, they could literally just be the fact that they know they're not viable, and you know that side of life just doesn't interest them anymore. So they fight back.
KS again. I'll just mention again from Kansas. Says found wolf spiders and jumping spiders in November and early as March. I've not went out to look for the Hensi, but I would not be surprised if they're not still moving. They are moving around if it stays warm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I think temperature's playing an enormous part in the wild with stuff moving and you know, and when it finally goes to rest, as it were.
Link says she's got an old male. It's still proving when you would assume he'd be firing dust. Hormones, says Izzy, must impact them to a degree, otherwise they would be phantom sacks happening without ever being paired.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, you quite often get phantom sacks in. I mean, I've had them before where I've had spiders which I've reared from slings, or even when I pulled them in as juvies, and a couple of years later they've thrown sacks and they've never been near a male. You know, it's not uncommon. Not uncommon at all.
I'm not jealous of that comment at all. I wish I could hope that a tarantula would make a home in my garden.
Yeah.
Could you imagine over your back garden and go, yeah, I've got a pet tarantula that lives down the bottom of the garden.
Yeah.
If there's a female in that hole, there's a female in that hole, there's a male in that hole.
It's incredible though, isn't it? I mean, can you remember? I don't know if you guys get them up your way, but I can remember when the first ringneck parakeets were seen in London, and everyone was going bananas about them because now all of a sudden we got tropical parakeets flying around loose. You know, they're part of the thing now, aren't they?
We've got about 300 flying around a local park, which apparently came from one male and one female being released.
Yeah, I could well believe it. They are prolific.
But yeah, they're incredible to watch. Just fly around. But like you said, yeah, they're literally becoming part of the UK ecosystem.
We had the same thing with. Have you seen Egyptian geese? Have you seen them?
Not for many years. Not
Egyptian geese. They're now colonised the British Isles, and I can remember when I first started in the zoo, we had a couple of pairs of Egyptian geese, and I can remember my old head keeper giving me a bit of a telling off because I didn't count them. So when we go out in the mornings, we'd feed and everything. You're supposed to count each and everything so you know that they're all there. And I remember him telling me that if one of them geese had disappeared or we lost one or it died, they were so important and so valuable that my job would be on the line. It was that bad. And yet now, when I think about it now, 30 odd years later, we're now colonised the British Isles and are free flying everywhere. Common as mud. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, it always strikes me. I saw exactly the same thing with collared doves. You must get them. They've colonised the whole of British Isles. Well, back when I was a kid,
almost vermin, aren't they?
Oh, they are now. Yeah, they are vermin. They're on the vermin list. But when I was a kid, my neighbour, she used to work in a pet shop when I was a very little kid, and she had a pair in an aviary, and that was the start of my love of aviary birds, and that was I got my first aviary then, and I remember her having collared doves in there, and you never saw them. And yet, some probably 10, 15 years after that, I was still in the same house, and we had them loose in the garden. Yeah, they were wild.
I won't lie, I'm going to struggle with the pronunciation on that one, but Tim says, look at the scorps we have all over the country now: Portsmouth, London, Kent, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Which is the
Tetratrichola, both flavicordis.
Flavicordis. Laura, same as the Mandarin ducks. Hey, Stuart.
Yep, same thing. Yeah, I mean, crikey, when we used to breed them, and they used to fetch really, really good money. But yeah, they're another one all over the place. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? How things change. So what is normal for some people is a rarity to others.
Well, you got Xander in the UK. They're doing really well. Fish.
Yeah.
At one time, if you caught them, you had to dispatch them legally. I don't know what the rules are now. I'm just wondering if Alan's still in, because I'm wondering if there's any other fish species that have kind of invaded the waterways of Britain and made them their home now. Again,
catfish, isn't it?
I do have 3 different species of wolf spiders burrowing in the back garden. Wales catfish, yeah.
Yeah.
But then they used to have special licenses on sturgeon, didn't they? You had to have the license, but now it seems like you can just keep them now.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a license on keeping them, but where they fall foul is that you can't release them.
Yeah, the fishery.
License to release. Mm.
Tim says catfish are a serious problem. Oh, yeah.
Oh, crayfish.
Yeah, crayfish.
Signal crayfish. Yeah. Yeah, they're a real pain.
Yeah. with the signal crayfish, it's just a case of you go fishing, you catch one. Gould says Florentina live in his house. Nature's Instinct, common carp were brought here by European Catholic monks to be used as food. Very true. Yep. Alan says you can keep them in England and Wales, but all sturgeon are prohibited in Scotland.
Yeah, mink are another one.
It's just, the mink. It's just, I don't think our waterways could deal with yet another bigger predator. I think we've got the zander, we've got the pike, we've got Wales catfish, perch as well. Perch are predatory.
Thing is it's like anything that's
in London, like the Isle of Sheppey ones, says Amy, is there?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the problem is anything that isn't natural to that ecosystem is going to prove a threat.
I watch quite a few animal YouTubers over mainly to do with fish over in America, and they go on about all this fish. Oh, we can't keep this here. I have to get special licenses. Have to get the the animal people out to check the premises. Blah 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 blah. Or it's just banned from the state. And then they go fishing the byway, or they go fishing a little river system, and they're pulling them out the river. Invasive species, the same ones that they're not allowed to keep. And you can see why with the temperatures and everything, because anything's going to breed, especially like somewhere like Florida.
Yeah.
Kansas KS again says we do have native scorpion over there, but not sure of the species. Tim says Indian deer, the muntjac, wallabies, etc. Phil, famous obviously for his fishing trips. Sturgeon in most main waterways now. First day of the season, there was a big one caught from the River Trent.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? This stuff is here to stay.
It's always the same case. It's always the case, isn't it? If you're going to sell them in a pet shop or fish shop or reptile shop, sooner or later, one or two is going to get out. And I remember when we used to do the fish tanks, a friend of a friend had like a pond set up in the back, and it was heated, and he had sturgeon in there. Weren't heated a lot, just to stop it from freezing, basically. And I remember his wife asking, or his girlfriend, literally going, "Oh, do you know anybody that can take them? Me and him are split up, and he don't want them. And he's just left him here." And that's how they just end up in the canals and the rivers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think there's a lot of animals that need to make their way over to DWA or get licensed. Red-tailed catfish. Me and I were chatting about this the other day. They're one because they grow far too big. Yeah. Our local canal has like the biggest terrapin I've ever seen in the world, and that's been there for about 12 years that I know of, well before I actually moved to Coventry. Hey, Kev Mac. Pretty sure rainbow trout aren't native, or they wasn't, said Phil. Hey, Nick. Hey, Kev. Carp are ferocious predators. See them smashing the fry and the tadpoles.
Yeah.
They're caught on meaty bait, so that makes sense. Tim says we have thousands of sliders after the Ninja Turtle craze of the 80s.
Yeah, it was a big problem, wasn't it?
Turtles being released as well. They're now illegal to breed or sell. That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
He's got a turtle in his back pond, and he pulls it into the house at winter. And I remember us having a chat with him, going, "Where'd you get that from?" He went, "Oh, I netted it out of the canal."
Yeah.
It can't go anywhere in his garden though.
As long as you got a little bit of depth in the pond, it'll stay out there all winter.
Yeah, he's got about 3 foot, but it's his baby. Yeah. It's his baby. Phil says Google says rainbows aren't native in the UK. Was the it doesn't matter. Gould mentioned it earlier. Florentina. got some spiders outside of one of the depots for work, and I was having a look at them, and I could just see the brown legs. And I looked at the webbing, and one just shot, and it must have been about an inch and a half across, some sort of wolf spider. But they've gone up at the very top of the bushes, creating these elaborate like webs, going down to tiny little tunnels. When I've got a little bit more time, I'm going back there, and I'm going to try and get one out and see what it is. Yeah,
get a bit of footage. That'd be really cool.
Rainbow trout.
I've got a false widow. I've got a false widow outside in my eaves, and that's got to be a good 1.25 inches big. It's massive. It's the biggest one I've ever seen. It's huge, absolutely huge.
Ray says, after the 1990 Home Alone film, we had a spike in members all wanting chili roses. Rachel, we have terrapins on a local reservoir. Tim, and yet we have no wolves, bears, etc., which are all native. They will never be able to introduce bears into this country, will they? Because there's just too many idiots.
Yeah, I think the thing as well is that like wolves and bears and all that, they were all wiped out a long time ago. Yeah, many years ago, way before any of us, any lifetime we'll ever be in. I mean, they're trying it, aren't they? They're trying to bring back beavers and stuff like that. And there is a program, I think it is in Scotland, where they're trying wolves. They put them. They're in a really huge area, but it's a fenced area. It's massive.
I'd say it's still fenced off. Gulch just said the same thing. Videos by the Mad Animal House. Our country isn't large enough to introduce wolves or bears. Well, no. It is. I think the problem is there's too many of us in our country. That's
we haven't got enough open land.
No, humans breed far too well to allow for things like that. Yeah. Amy says, how are people so influenced by films and shows to get a new animal? I've never had that. Only reason I got a spider was oh my god.
Handling experience at school.
Films made me not want them before that. Alan says, Dave, do you have a location, website or stock list for spiders that you breed, and then move on?
Yeah, just message me on Facebook. That's the best way.
Alan, if you've not got Dave on Facebook, drop me a message and I'll ping you his thing. But it's Dave's Little Beasties page as well. Red kites got reintroduced many years ago by Chris. Love to see 20 plus flying around my house. Wow. I've been over to Wales and seen the sanctuary for the red kites. They've got an albino one. And then as you go down towards London, if you go to a lot of the shows, you'll see it. Because there's a farm, and the farmer goes out with like a dead carcass, puts it out for the kites, and they all come down, and they've been breeding really well over the years.
They feed them day-old chicks.
Lily Locks just dropped £2 onto the chat. Thank you.
Yeah, with the red kite reintroduction, we were involved with the red kite reintroduction. That was bloody hell. That was, I bet I was only probably 20. 19, 20, when that was all going on. We done all that, and that was when that came about. That was, if I remember, I think there was only
just after the invention.
There was only 3 or 5 birds left in the wild. It was really low numbers.
And now look.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they
works.
Yeah, I mean, it was the thing was is they were completely locked down into in a very small part of Wales, and then with the reintroduction, a lot of that came about, and that was done. A lot of that was done in the south of England, and and they basically colonised from there.
Oh, KS, I've done the same thing from time to time.
Yeah, I'd remove that black widow if I were you. They're an absolute curse.
I've got on the outside of the shed building. There's a wolf spider sits above the door frame as well. I don't. Oh, I try not to feed her, but I end up feeding her because she keeps the flies and stuff like that at bay. Rachel says I got a curly hair as my first tarantula. As I thought they were docile. Turns out it's got more attitude than our OBTs, and yet I've seen them used so many times at kids' parties being passed around.
I never trust them. This is why I don't advocate handling.
No,
I wouldn't trust any of them.
It only takes one kid to go pick up Daddy's Metallica or Mummy's Metallica and get bit.
I think even just mucking around, even like the so-called friendly stuff, like you were just saying there. I've seen curly hairs, I've seen rosettes, all with the meanest attitudes on the planet.
Laura was over in Wales Sunday filming the red kites, also on ScoMo filming the puffins.
Now that's something I really wanted to do, was go and do the puffins. I'd love to go and photograph puffins.
I went.
Have you?
Oh God, the oldest daughter's 19, so it would have been about 21 years ago over at Southstack.
Wow. Yeah, I want to get back into my photography. Actually,
There was still an oyster catcher there as well. We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was going crazy for the oyster catcher.
Yeah.
Old world's more puppy dog than a beginner species, says Amy. Curly hairs were one of the most aggressive matings I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's funny when I was working in Norfolk, we had a pile of like a couple of ton pile of shingle in the middle of our car park. And an oyster catcher made a nest on the top of it and reared her chicks on that pile.
Can't move the pile.
Yeah, she wouldn't move. She just sat there as if she was invisible. And she reared her chicks on there. It was really incredible. Yeah.
Is oyster catcher the one with a long curled beak?
They got a long straight red beak. Yeah. Black and white birds. Beautiful.
Sarah says, mad to think of all the programs that used to hand spiders round to every kid in a classroom and event days. They never explain the dangers of the spot to the spider or the people. Education, but not fully.
Yeah.
When I think when Ling did it at school, I think she did the same. But when me and Luke went to the Beavers twice, we didn't allow them to handle a single spider.
No, I don't.
Why do people find the fascination to want to handle? It's like you get your spider, view it as a fish in a fish tank, leave it the fuck alone. It doesn't want to be on your hand. It doesn't want to be stroked or patted. It's not interested in your human affection. It just wants to be left alone and fed regular.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's. I've seen some with some serious attitude, and to be honest, I wouldn't want to get bitten by any of them. I just don't see the point in taking a chance, and even more so for a child. It's
for a child, for me thinking about it, I mean, my boys they can come in here, but only obviously when I'm here, and it's strict under very strict conditions. That I employ I kind of employ onto myself basically. So if I'm rehousing a spider or anything like that, they are down that end of the room where the door is, and I am this end. So I would rehouse here. So the spider would have to go through me. But I am in no doubt that if I'm rehousing a spider in this room and it escaped, my child was in this room, I would literally lie down in front of me and one of the lads. 8 Days World, big up, dude.
Hey.
Love Dave, man. He's awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a really, really nice guy.
he credits all his knowledge to yourself on every TikTok live stream he does. Yeah, all the time.
Actually, that bloody reminds me. I was supposed to have messaged him. Oh, Jesus Christ, I forgot all about that. I was meant to have messaged him ages ago, and I completely forgot. Flipping heck.
Oh. Scott, have you lost some weight? I'll put it in the chat for your XP. XP tarantulas. I'm still trying to work on getting some sort of live wording coming up to support the deaf community. There you go, Lily Locks. Dave's every night. It's about time we did a bit more on YouTube. Or did?
I was going to say, does not YouTube have a thing? Because they do like a language thing, don't they? So you can put your videos out, and they automatically get translated.
Yeah, the videos, the
Oh, Lenny Locke.
The videos allow it.
Message me on Facebook. We'll do t-shirt.
But when it comes to lives, to try and organise it so you can have the subtitles is really difficult, and it annoys me because XP Tarantulas are such nice people. It'd be great to have that communication go up a bit more. Hey, Kirsty.
That's the guys.
Lily still needs t-shirts.
That's the guys that come up at the shows, isn't it? The family.
Yeah, family.
Yes. Kelly often talks to them. Yes,
Chris, whose internet's dropping out, dude? A little.
Yours. Right. The bank is fucking gone. Let's fucking talk. The proper people fucking talk. You got any interesting projects, Dave?
Oh, got a couple. I really want to push on with my blondies and sturmies this year.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to spend a bit more time on them. I'm still trying to catch up in my room. I've still got stuff to move in. I've got a couple of new things coming.
Ooh.
But that's a bit of a surprise. I can't let too much out the bag.
Just wait for the video.
yeah. They are going to be. They're going to be really nice.
Epic kids.
So did that answer your question?
What colour wall paint did I use? It's called Overtly Olive. Overtly Olive.
Right, it's Tim's accent. Nobody understands him. How's the room getting on? Well, how's the shed getting on, Dave?
Yeah, we're rather warm in here. We're rather warm at the moment because my aircon's packed up, so I need to get it repaired. But yeah, we're sort of getting there. It's do you know what? It's the worst thing is trying to actually maintain everything while you're still adding stuff. That's like the hardest thing. And I was just saying to Chris, I've got a couple of new projects arriving in the next week or so. So going to get them in and get them done. I'm looking forward to doing them. I'm going to try and concentrate on me blondies and sturmies, I think, this year. Probably take a bit of a back seat on everything else. But I need to have a serious look into some of what I keep and some of the things I might move on, because it's I just can't have too many projects on the go. I need to simplify things a little bit, I think.
God, Chris will be messaging you in the next 10 minutes. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Dave's looking at moving some spiders on, Chris, because of the projects he wants to work with and not work with.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll have a look. I got some of the stuff that I was into. I got like a lot of multiples. So it's sort of
message me, Dave, your list, and I'll have a look.
Yeah, I haven't really decided exactly what I'm going to do yet. But yeah,
Dave, you did something with your microphone.
Mine?
Yeah, you just moved something and it suddenly gone quiet.
Oh, what was that? I don't know. Didn't touch anything.
Turn it on.
No, we can't hear you at all. Oh. Say
Right,
something.
should be back on now.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's it. Yeah,
Awesome.
I don't know. I think I just,
Izzy says, dare anyone ask about Dave's pond?
Who said that?
Sarah.
No.
Dave Gould has some Theraposa to move on.
Dave messaged me as well.
All my lights have just gone out. Did you notice how my room went dark? It's interesting. We were saying earlier on.
Is that camera lady giving you the half-hour call?
Oh no. My room lights are my enclosure lights are all on a timer, so they all go off at the same time and they all come on at the same time. But it's interesting. We were saying earlier on about photo periods, because literally the last 10 minutes I've been looking around my room while we've been talking, and the last 10 minutes a lot of the spiders that weren't out have come out, and now all my lights have just gone off, so they know it's about to come down at night time.
They feel safe, don't they, at night time? Days with some Theraposa to move on. Tim says camera lady twiddling with the knobs.
Yeah. Oh, Dave's well. Message me. I'd be interested in having a look at your Theraposas.
Fuck off, Dave. I'll act first.
And I also need to sort out that other stuff with you as well.
It'll be a race. It'll be a race to message him on TikTok.
Yeah, he needs to message me.
I like Dave's. He does a lot of lives on TikTok every day with the spiders and stuff, but then he also does the allotment side of it.
Right.
I ain't got time for an allotment, but it's kind of, you're almost spending time at Dave's allotment while he's doing it because of the way he does the live. It's brilliant.
Brilliant.
But I do go on his live.
Ask him what TikTok.
Yeah, ask him what goes on in the allotment shed. Yeah. There's about 300 Dave's Little Beasties accounts there, Dave, on TikTok.
I know, not one of them are mine. Yeah, I do. I should go on there, really.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Sarah says, I do wonder if photo periods affect fossorial spiders. Amy says, I'll be breeding Theraposa this year too. She's only been waiting 14 years. John, I've got some male Theraposa available at Bristol, says John.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to ask him about the shed lot. Dave says, what happens in the shed stays in the shed. Lee said, Dave, need your neon Dave's Little Beasties sign back up again.
Dave, I messaged you on Facebook.
Did you?
Not you, the other day.
Oh.
XP Tarantula says, anyone selling Chili Flame, it's difficult to find one. They were for sale on the Spider Shop. If you use capital letters, Scott 5, it gets you a little bit of a discount over at the Spider Shop as well. When I kept Pachanoda, says videos by the Mad Animal House, the Beatles, they would all start burying themselves ready for bed just before the lights went off.
Yeah, it'll disappear.
Also, our spiders might have some. I need to look on Luke's website. I've not been on for about a week, maybe 2 weeks.
I try not to look on websites. There's always going to be something I like.
I did it with Chris, so that's where the Marcelli came from in the last video. And we were talking about spiders and stuff like that. I had a look at his website on a live, and I was like, oh, Marcelli. Oh, okay. It's deadly. It's absolutely deadly. Might have an Avic puparia available, mature male. Days world again.
Yeah. I don't have a female, unfortunately. Oh, you pesky little bugger.
Have you got a female, Chris?
No, not anymore. I have a Juby.
I want to see what's escaped in Dave's room.
A wasp.
One for Chris. Is PayPal an option on Zoo on Wheels website, Chris?
Yeah. PayPal, Klarna, card payment.
Oh, you bugger.
You have to get it, Dave, in case it decides to set up an house.
Oh, man. You need to watch Thursday's video.
Right, Dave. Who's on the loose?
Flying nasty. You need to watch Thursday's video. All will become apparent.
I haven't watched any videos for fucking months now.
Wanker.
I love you too.
He's gone out again, yeah.
Dave's World always have a catch cup available.
Yeah.
Always. That's my special one. So no, I'm not using it ever. I've painted the bottom of it black. Oh, come go.
I've
And you can see it quick.
Always got one to hand.
I painted the bottom of that black. But sometimes I put that down and I just can't see it for love nor money. But now that top...
Yeah.
So this Thursday,
he's come back and he's now flying around me light.
I think so.
So the video hasn't come out yet.
Right, come on, you little bugger. I'm going to have you. Gotcha. Right.
Now you're stuck.
No, I've got him. Now I've got to get him to the bottom.
Now, you know what are you going to do? You got to tell something.
Damn thing. Right, this is starting to annoy me.
You need a piece of paper or something in the other hand.
Oh, yeah, I've got a lid here.
That's going to be interesting to watch later.
Oh, get down.
Tonight, Dave's trying to pair wasps.
Yeah. Got him. There we go.
Hey.
There he is. You see him.
Little sugar.
Watch Thursday's video. It will all become very apparent.
Steve says, how's that pond going, Dave? You got to watch Thursday's video.
Oh, no. The pond is, it's waiting for me to get the, what do you call it?
Everybody.
I need to get the sealant for it. But again, now you see we've got what we got now.
What happened with the pond?
I need to seal it. I've got to seal it, and I haven't done it yet.
Oh, the pond guard, the fucking what's it called? The fucking paint.
I've got some stuff. Osman sent me a link for some stuff in the Netherlands, so I'm going to get that. That looked like it'll do the job. It looked really good, so I'm gonna order that. My biggest problem I've got at the moment is I'm working next weekend, and then I've got a couple of projects next weekend that I want to try and sort out as well. Then we've only got a couple of weeks, and it's the show at Bristol. And then obviously the week after Bristol, I'm normally too knackered to do anything. And then, before you know it, you're running back around that vicious circle again, aren't you? You know,
that's called age, Dave. That's called age.
Yeah, tell me about it, mate. It's catching up quick, I can tell you. But It's like now I'm sitting in here now and I'm absolutely cooking. I'm wondering whether I can move to the door. I'm going to try. I'm going to unplug it. Hopefully I've got enough battery power.
I've just plugged my fan back in.
Yeah, I'm
I've had it off about half an hour.
See, I've got internet down in my spider room. So I'm going to... actually, where's my shoes? I'm going to see if I can sit on the doorstep where it's a bit cooler. Because it's turned really bloody hot in here now. Don't know why.
You're not turning your AC or anything?
No, because it's packed up because we ended up with a leak in it.
Ah.
So it's, it's packed up. So I've got to get it repaired. There we go. On the doorstep now.
Now you need a small table for your laptop.
Yeah. Oh, it's a bit better out here, I can tell you. This is nice. Yeah, this is better. Yeah.
So Harris says, anybody haven't had a Sarapotha Sturmy blonde hypothesis for sale?
No.
Not at the minute. You're lucky to find one, to be honest.
Mm.
Days World heading off now, fellas. Just created this account tonight. I'll definitely be back and I'll come on with reviews if I'm welcome. They are more than welcome, Dave. That'll be a good night. Are you going over? Are you doing a TikTok live? Phil, just got to check you've got shorts on. I'd have forgot. oh, mate, shorts. I had my shorts on yesterday. Got up this morning and it didn't. Just put my trousers on. Went to work and my God, the difference in sweat leveling. Wow. Chilling tonight, buddy. Days live on TikTok tomorrow night. Ray Hale. If you guys don't know who Ray Hale is from the British Transfer Society, one of the committee members. He says, guys, it's been a good chat. Catch you all soon. See you later, Ray. Take care.
Good night, Ray.
There's Dave can for Mick.
Bye, Dave.
Double clutch. I have theories, but unsure. Her behaviour says she's sealing off to lay again. She's not due a molt, not bred for Mictopus much yet.
I'm not sure.
I can only comment on Amelia because Amelia is the only one that had double clutch.
I know Pokies can double clutch.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. There's a little bit of me says they can, but
I think it's yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
Anything's
possible.
Yeah. It's like I bought an Onata sack last week, and that was the second clutch from the female.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've never had a pokey double clutch.
Neither do I, and that they had an Onata sack, and they already grown on slings. They're quite massive. I think fourth or fifth molt now, and she clutched again. 110 slings in the second clutch.
There's a two for me.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I know, and I bought the ball. I was like, they might.
Yeah.
Cheeky cunt.
What's that?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
They're starting to get a bit more following now, aren't they, for Mictopus?
Yeah.
More and more people are getting into them. Quite, I tell you what, it's an absolute godsend sitting here. Oh, that's better.
My internet's back a little bit down my end.
Yeah, I say every now and again you go a bit funny.
If the door might have unplugged the extension because we've got an extension, a Wi-Fi adapter thing.
Oh yeah.
So what I might have to do is move it to another plug socket. Maybe that's what's maybe just needs moving around. I don't know.
I tell you what, it's
Videos by the Mad. I've got 6 millipedes coming later this week from Richard's Inverts.
Yeah, it's it'll pay you to get a hardwire down to your shed. Really
I've
good.
actually, I've got a long blue one. It's 2 meters, which I think would stretch out, and I just put it in for when we're doing the lives. I'll try it on Chris's on Friday and see what happens.
Yeah, it's well worth doing. Did anyone see on Facebook Graham's new shed?
Yeah.
From Satire Spiders, you seen his shed that he's built? Yeah, doesn't it look awesome? Really cool.
He's done well.
Yeah, it looks really smart. I can't wait to see it like getting decked out and stuff. It's exciting.
I've been in this one now for a year, you know.
I know. This year has flown by, isn't it? It's gone by really quick. You think, we're halfway through already. Yeah.
You're governed by the shows because you get excited for scene. And then suddenly it's a show and a show and a show. And then before you know it, it's the middle of the summer and you're sweating your tits off on a live stream with David Little Beasties. It does. It goes so fast.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to Bristol? You coming to Bristol?
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a big one, I think.
Yeah, as long as it ain't as hot as we're having at the moment, we'll be all right. That second hall gets real warm.
But then you got the Scottish show in August, which I'm not attending.
No.
But I've got a week off work in August as well, so we're thinking about trying to find a cheapy holiday, going to the kids away for a week.
Well, you got the
It's
Essex.
just like every time you're
dropping
Your
out
internet Scots wank. We can't hear shit.
Terrible. Yeah, it's gone. You got the
Chris,
the Essex.
if I turn off and just go and try something for in the house,
I'll take over.
I'll be back in. Probably take me about 5 minutes just to work it out. Thank you, brother.
You got the Essex invert show.
I've heard of it, but I'm not sure will I make it. There's so many shows in August, and I'm like, it's gonna be a big pain. Yeah,
I think we're going to be going along to it. We went last year. It was good last year. It's sort of like it's not a massively busy show. It's a nice show. Yeah, it's really nice. I think they just need to get it a bit more publicised, you know?
Yeah, I've heard about everything and controversy that somebody was saying that it's not happening, but it is.
It is happening, yeah. Yeah, it is going ahead.
Yeah. I might see if I can book a table.
Hey?
I'll see if I can book a table for myself. Not creatures from
There's tables available. There is tables available at the moment.
CM15. Hold on. I've got the postcode in front of me. I'll see where it is. How far it's from me.
Yeah, I know it's a bit of a trek for us, but I think what got us last time was all the roadworks. It was a nightmare. The actual route there was bad.
Right, let's have a look. I bet you it's going to be fucking hours.
Where are you?
Wolverhampton. It's not bad. It's 2.5, almost 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice and easy. Show 150 miles.
Ain't too bad.
Yeah, I'll book a table then. I'll tell them to put me next to you so I can annoy you all day.
Yeah, and I'll ask them to put you in a different spot.
I'll pay them extra. I'm like, put me next to Dave. I want to pinch his spiders all day.
I'll say, stick him out in a car park
That'd be the best place for him.
You'll still hear me from there.
Yeah, I have no doubt of that. No doubt at all.
Are you going to the other show, which is on the 12th of July? What's it called? I can't remember what was the show called.
No, I doubt it.
Yeah,
I'm only doing the invert one in July. What's the one on the 12th then?
I can't remember. Give me 2 seconds. Somebody maybe. Hampshire show. Yeah, Hampshire.
Hampshire.
Yeah, there's apparently a new show in Hampshire.
Who's running that then?
Creepy Crawly UK. No, that's sponsored by. I think Abigail or something. I'm not completely sure about that one. I was asked will I attend. I know Spa Spider's going.
Yeah, I don't.
And that should be quite close to you as well.
It will be, yeah. Hampshire, it will be. It's literally down the road.
Yeah, it's 12th of July.
Yeah.
Have a look. Maybe you can get the table, squeeze in. You have 2
I've
weeks.
got I haven't got the time. That's the problem. I am literally so busy. It's just mental.
Tell me about it.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Chimpy there says he's got a Rufus pair ready to go. Yeah, they're nice and easy to pair up. They're good spiders. Nice and easy.
I've paired mine. I really hope she drops.
And they're also double clutch, sometimes triple clutch.
Yeah. Similar to summer pairs, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep, same sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, no, the shows, they take it out of you, don't they?
Yeah.
You end up with so many.
And it's so many, especially this year. And with every year, there's more and more. And you're like, I just can't keep up with them anymore.
How many have you done this year? How many are you down for?
All of them, people. Well, I've done all of them so far up until now.
Really?
And I'm going all invert shows. I'm doing Mildenhall.
Yeah, we're going to Mildenhall.
Yeah, I've been to the show where the new one. Not the new one, the Bournemouth one.
Bournemouth, yep.
Yeah, I've done that one. Now
that was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a fucking brilliant show. Like I said, I have 2 tables already booked for next year. I'm like, hell yes, I'm trading there.
It was really, really good.
I wasn't expecting it to be that good and that big, but it was a really nice and big show. And that's actually where I found out that there's a show in Hampshire, because they were trading next to the Spa Spiders, and they said, "Oh, are you coming to that show?" I was like, "All right, what show is that? I've never heard of it." I know there's Essex one. A couple of people told me, and Chris a couple of times sent it to me as well. So
yeah,
I'm a message. Who do I message about the tables?
He's Danny was doing it. I think
Chris took it over.
Chris from Invicta is doing it. Yeah, Chris from Invicta is doing it, I believe. Oh, we got Danielle in the chat. She said, "Who's doing the Hampshire show in a few weeks?"
She also says she's in your pond.
She's in my pond. Am I in your pond? I'm near enough in the pond. I wish it was full of water.
So did it? How come it? Did it crack or is it not sealing?
No. It just ended up bloody porous. So it wasn't the right mix. It wasn't the mix I asked for. So, but the time we had it tipped out on the drive, it was a bit late. So we sort of went with it, hoping it'd be all right, but it weren't.
Did they get a refund you? Did they refund you because they fucked up with the mix?
Well, I asked for one. That's what they asked for, and then it came back as this other bloody stuff. So weren't ideal, but it is what it is. But it's something that can be rectified. It's just the time. I just haven't had time to muck about with it.
Look, say if you heard of Joy, King of Do It Yourself, I used to watch him when he was. Sorry.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
Years ago, he was using the Pongard to paint his enclosures and ponds. When he was building plywood enclosures as well, he was using that stuff, and that seems quite good as well. And it's like 50 quid. 50 quid a jar, so it ain't too bad. And you can actually get it in here as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
he does some really cool stuff. Actually, I used to watch him a lot.
Yeah, I used to watch him a lot until it become more money grabbing for him than doing fish keeping.
Yeah. He's gone very promotional, isn't
he?
Yeah.
Well, he used to do really good stuff, really educational stuff. So.
Yeah. Emma Kitty, yes, we are doing the Essex show. We will be there.
Well, apparently I'm going to be there as well now.
What's that with Danielle? Look, she's like, Dave's the poorest now. I've always been poor.
Yes, Danielle, you are that bad. It's actually quiet without Scott. He keeps talking all the time.
He's always bloody talking, isn't he? But then again, I guess that is the actual general idea.
Exactly. We don't know how to keep his channel active, so we'll just talk random shit at the moment. Sorry, people. If you have any questions today, obviously put them in the chat. I'll ask them to him.
Oh, I get what she's saying now. The pond was porous.
Oh.
Yeah. It's almost as porous as me.
How big is the pond?
You're right there. In this hobby, everyone is poor.
Yeah. How big is your pond?
It holds just around about 25,000 litres.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Here he is. Yes.
And his mic is fucked.
Different microphone, not the same one.
Daniel,
you always win.
About 2 foot.
My God, that's a pain in the backside.
It's still not better.
I hope so. I've just changed changed the position of the, and it's still crap.
Just go closer to the doors.
I think it's more this laptop is actually the laptop's really old, and I think that's what my problem is.
Just go closer to the doors or open the doors so the signal's stronger.
The door is open.
No, just go sit by the doors. Do the same.
I reckon it's barometric pressure.
Yes.
Ain't it?
Barometric.
I reckon it's fine.
Up until 9 o'clock, it was.
I reckon it's
barometric
fine. Pressure.
Yeah.
The barometric could well be, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have plans what you're keeping in your pond, Dave? Dave, have you decided what you keep in the pond?
We're going to have a few fish, but then I also want to put with my rocker in my pond. I want to try and be able to seal it in a way, and I want to have fire salamanders loose in it.
Ooh.
Nice.
That's the plan. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, I'm hoping to.
How's the filtration we're gonna work on it?
Natural. So I'm not gonna have any like external filtration at all. Yeah. So we're gonna run it purely on plants.
Well, at that size, you don't really need to worry about.
You're gonna have the water
so what I'm
going
gonna do is I'm gonna
through gravel, through the roots, and then coming down back to the pond, or.
No, I've got I've built a small like header pond in my rockery, which will be completely full of plant, and then I'm going to pump the water from the pond up into that, and then that will filter down through the plants and come back down into the pond.
Yeah,
And then that's what I've done in previous ones, and it's worked really well. The only thing is it takes a bit of time for it to establish, because you've got to wait for the plants to fully establish. When it's all fresh and new, it'll just be green. It'll look bloody horrible. But once the plants get established, it will be fine.
How you will avoid seagulls?
Shoot them.
I was about to say pew pew.
Now, hopefully, I won't have to. We're quite enclosed here, so I shouldn't have too much of a problem.
Throw some chips at them.
Yeah, bloody things.
He'll throw some chips, and when they're all like together, hurtling around the chips, the net will come down and catch them.
Yeah, catch them all.
A bit like,
I mean, we had a fox in the garden the other morning.
This comment's going to be wasted on majority of people watching, but the net will come down like it did in Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah.
Hey Danielle, free snake food.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Bristol. I am. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's a good one. I enjoy it.
Sorry.
It's what?
I say, are you staying in a hotel for the Essex show?
No, I'll travel up in the morning.
Yeah.
I never stay overnight.
That's lies. You did at Seas.
I did once. Yeah, that was with when I went up with Danielle.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Danielle, hope all's well. Danielle was melting and need to jump in the shower, but I can't quite peel myself from the sofa. So do I. I know I need a shower. I'll keep my that's like with the antiperspirant stuff. That is. I sweat bad.
Bloody hell.
I've got one friend. He's got that
It
condition.
don't help sitting in a spider room, does it?
Got a window literally right behind the top, and I've just opened it. It won't harm in here. Just drop down a couple.
Got it right. She says I'm too tight to pay for a hotel. That's the only reason I went to Seas, was because my hotel was paid for. No, I always travel up the night before. I can't handle the drink, so there's no point. Give me a terrible headache.
Oh, you want to try keeping up with Chris and CFTN?
No, I wouldn't even bother. I wouldn't even attempt it.
I don't drink. I watched Chris drink, and it's like he'll get up and like literally the end of the night, it's like he hasn't even touched it. Europeans are built different. They are built different.
There's blood missing in our alcohol.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't. I'll tell you what, I've only got to have like a bloody 2 good shandies and I've got a headache. Terrible. Well, I'm terrible. Can't cope with it at all now.
I've not drank for 19 years. Just never my thing. It was never my thing. As everybody knows, it was like, ex-drug addiction. That was my thing.
Yeah. I think I got a bit silly on alcohol when I was younger, but yeah, I don't drink anymore. Very rare.
Need some more little bearded dragons from you, says Danielle. Don't know who that's saying that.
Who's got bearded dragons?
Chris breeds them. How's this from Chris?
Ah,
I've sold all mine from the latest clutch. I'm just watching your pond video on the background, and fuck me, that's massive.
pond video.
No, I don't remember. Probably for the best.
Yeah, they're meant to be the good ones, the ones you can't remember, aren't they?
If there's any clips, Chris, from the pond video you want to play quickly on here.
No, it's on my other PC, so I can't do that.
Oh, well.
What 3D printed ones? What are we on about? What did I miss? Oh, Goya. 3D printed bearded dragons. Yeah, Goya. I'll sort them out. Don't worry. Message me. Yeah. Fucking idiot.
He's only like a week behind, isn't he?
No. I'm too tired for this shit, to be honest. I wasn't planning to come on, and then it was like, oh fuck, it's Dave's love.
Oh, well, I didn't want to say anything, Chris, but you know what I mean. We were talking about that like an hour ago. You know.
Sorry. Do you want me to watch your pond video now? Do you want to use or no?
I tell you what, you got to be careful. You got to be careful how you say that. First time he said it, I thought he said, "I'm watching your porn video." I'm like, "Fucking, what the fuck's he watching now?"
Well, I've been on your OnlyFans for years, so
Sarah, it was Black Sambuca is what put me off alcohol for life.
Oh yeah, yeah. I couldn't be doing with that.
That will do it.
Now, hopefully, we'll over the next month or so, we should get the pond done. I'm hoping, get it painted up. I need to get it done. It don't help in this really hot weather. You're better off waiting for it to cool down a little bit.
Right, Dave. Once the pond's ready and filled up with water, the first thing you have to do is put camera lady in there and tell her that she's a mermaid now.
I think I wouldn't need to put her in there. She'd be jumping in. She will. She'll be jumping in. I might actually, when I fill it up, I might get a bit of footage of her swimming about.
Deal.
That will show the size of it. Yeah, I did put a picture up of her laying in the bottom.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I put a picture up. I think it was actually the thumbnail to one of the videos of her literally just laying in the bottom of the pond.
Dave, after you have introduced your male for the first time and they have successfully inserted, how long before you can reintroduce for a second pairing, says Rachel?
As soon as he's made a new sperm web. As soon as he makes a new sperm web, then I pair him up again.
Next day, it can be 3 days later, it can be 5 days later. It's just when the male makes a new sperm web.
Yeah, just wait for that sperm web and then away you go. Nature Instincts. Yes, I do still have Sabar Blue slings. So message me on Facebook and I'll get you a list over.
Nature's Instinct. That pond is more like a swimming pool. It's massive. Camera lady is 1'5". Your pond's about 2 foot. Sarah says, I have a habit of mixing drinks when I drink. That seems to get me. But last time I went to Spoons, I had 2 pictures of some cocktail. That was fine.
I'll see if I can find that picture.
Yeah, definitely not the thumbnail because they look.
Oh no, that's too dark.
I probably got it on here.
I get looked at well weird when I go to Spoons and ask for a coffee. I get even stranger looks when I ask for a glass of water.
Right, hold on. Let's see if I can find it.
Danielle says, only joking. Dave, love you really. Dave's pond is very big, and nowhere for a barbecue now.
Oh no, we still have room for a barbecue.
Are you going to build a dock over the pond?
A bridge?
Or are you going to put a bridge?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to put a bridge in. Oh, I've done with a bloody picture.
She's probably deleted it so you don't show it around.
Yeah. I don't know what I've done with it. I think sometimes if I upload a picture, sometimes it takes it off my phone. Which is mildly annoying.
Danielle says, inbox me, guys. I've got all the photos. Where's Danielle's? Let me just drop her a quick message.
Oh, fucking hell is it?
Oh, Danielle!
Sarah's off for a few drinks.
Ah, here we go. I found it.
Hold on, one sec. Let me.
Are you ready? See if I can do it.
Oh, Jesus. Jeez.
That puts a bit of perspective on it.
Yeah, she can definitely swim in there.
Cool, isn't it? Yeah, it's cool. It was amazing. I put the picture up on Facebook, and I just put a post up saying, "I've had enough. It's time she went." And I put it in the pond, and the amount of people that thought I'd just got like a doll. They didn't think it was her. They thought I'd just put a doll in there. But yeah, that was Kelly laid out in the pond.
What's the dimensions?
Actually, I don't actually know. I think it's about. Well, the bridge I need is 4 meters long, and that's the width of the pond. And it's probably.
Danielle says big times big.
It's what? Big times big. Yeah.
Times big.
Yeah, I'm pretty. The bridge going from the deck to the door, which is what I'm sitting on, is about 4.5 meters, and then lengthways, I think it's probably about 6-7 meters, something like that.
Jason's having a pond built at the moment. His gardener's doing it for him. Bloody hell, it's a big pond. I thought ours was big. Claire's has got loads of koi.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I tell you, the daft thing is though, you don't. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to have a big pond. I've seen some small ponds and they look absolutely fantastic.
Right, nature's instinct.
Yeah, but if there's space, just go big or go home.
That's it. That's always been my theory. If you got the room, use it. Yeah.
I said no. When we moved in, she said I could do a little pond, and now she said no.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to have a chat with her at Bristol, I think.
I know.
Can't beat a pond.
I was going to put a planted area in, have like the filtration system that I was going to would be similar to what an under gravel filter is, but you pump the water through the gravel.
Yep, I know what you mean. Yep.
Then it comes back down the waterfall into the pond. That's what I wanted to do, but
yeah,
and it was going to be slow. It was going to be slow moving water, so hopefully we could get frogs and newts and things for the kids to kind of go, Dad, look, let's go into the pond now.
That's it. Yeah. I tell you what,
on me just purely because of the ADHD and the autism. They are a nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
When my daughter was little, I had a pond that was probably almost as big as this one. It might have been actually bigger than this one. And that went from my lawn straight to water. And my daughter grew up with it, never had any issues.
I was always in the rivers and the brooks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And at the moment, the paddling pool's set up 24/7 in the garden, but the back door is always locked because that's how we are.
Yeah.
You know.
Someone's just said there, how much would a pond weigh? I have no idea.
The water weight.
Yeah. I know it's going to be
a meter would weigh, and then.
Well, it'll hold around about 25,000 litres. So I don't know how that works out.
That's gonna take a while to fill up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. A gallon of water is 1 kilo. Speak to you later, Danielle.
No, Danielle.
So one litre weighs a kilo. So what's 25? How many litres in a litre? How many litres in a litre? 1 litre weighs a kilo. So that would be 25,000 kilos.
55,000 pounds at 21 degrees.
So what would that be in tons? 25 ton. Yeah.
25 ton.
Fucking flipping heck. That's quite a heavy pond, isn't it? Damn. That is surprising.
That is a lot.
Luckily, there's nothing underneath it, so I ain't going nowhere. Just hope my concrete holds up.
It's got
never really thought.
Was it? Did you?
Yeah.
Did you
I rebarred it. Yeah.
If you think about when you take your wagon on off site and over concrete.
Yeah.
And then you think that water's just sitting there. It's not rolling, and it's not on how many wheels on a lorry? A lot of wheels. It's spread out, isn't it? So.
Yeah, but then you think you can park a lorry on a 4-inch concrete base without any effect at all. My lorry is 32 ton loaded, fully loaded. Yeah.
Imagine manual water changes on that. Did you find the right point for your paint for your pond, Dave? Says Michelle.
Yes. Yeah. I've
just G4 pond sealant.
No, I looked at some different ones, and then a few people commented on some of the ones that I was looking at, and they were like, "Nah, stay clear of them; they're useless." And then Osmond messaged me, and hey,
there's a swimming pool sealant you can use.
Yeah, but you got to get something that's fish friendly. But the Osmond sent me a link to a place over there, and so I'm probably gonna get that because that looks quite good. Yeah, it's a polyurethane sort of rubber that you literally paint it on.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That Joy used to use the himself. He was using Conrod.
It's interesting because you only need it only needs to be like about 2 mil thick, and and it holds. So it's really good stuff.
But do 2 coats at least.
Yeah,
it's better.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to doing it.
So wait.
This is the problem, you see. I end up with so much pressure because I've got all these bloody people that want to see it, and I'm like, oh man, I ain't got time. Just let me get on. So
just do what's it called? A winner thingy on your channel. Say I can choose one channel member to channel subscriber to come and help me paint my pond.
Yeah. Do a thing. Yeah.
For a few to come down and get your hand painting the pond, it'd be done in about an hour.
It probably would, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be nice and quick, wouldn't it? Yeah. No, it's I will get it done. I've got to do all the waterfall and everything as well. So, yeah.
Or do one better: invite Danielle to your house, and as soon as they come to your house, just give them paint rollers and be like, paint.
I have tried that, but all they do is drink me beer. Can't get no work out of them.
Oh. I think you need to learn to use your pew better.
Yeah. You might have a point there. Right. Well, I am going to have to call it a day because I've got another early start.
Just before you go, Dave.
Yeah.
What are you on now? 98,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, 98,100 or something.
Do you reckon you'll be able to give up work when you get to 100, or do you reckon?
Probably not at the minute because I want to. We've still got a load. I've still got to put a kitchen and a bathroom in and bits and pieces. And we haven't touched the house yet. So
house is not important. The shed is and pond is.
Hey.
I said house is not important. The shed and the pond is.
Well, yeah, that's why we done all this first. Oh yeah, we got all this done.
Do the house in the winter. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that is the plan.
Yeah.
But I got to get the bathroom, and that's going to be done next. Well, we're going to do the decking next, which we're going to do in August, beginning of August. Tucker should be back, and we're going to do all the decking. So all the back garden stuff will all be done. That'll all be finished then, so we won't have to do anything else, and then we can start work on the house. So once I get the bathroom and the kitchen done, then I can look at perhaps just giving up and just concentrating on my spiders. But yeah, it's gonna be a little way off yet. Plus the fact, as much as a lot of free time is quite a nice thing to think about, I'm a little bit worried that I'd get bored. I'd miss work. I actually enjoy my job.
I do. I love mine as well.
So I'm sort of, I enjoy my job, and the people I work with, is really cool. We have a good laugh, and I sort of, I don't really consider it work. Do you know what I mean? There's only a small group of us, and it still has its moments. Like today was an absolute mare of a day. But generally speaking, it's good, and I enjoy being there.
It makes a difference when you've got good workmates, because if you're having a shit day, you can phone one up, take the piss out of them, have a laugh, and then suddenly the day's no way bad, is it? No. I mean, crikey, we're pretty rough on each other, to be fair. It's a side banner. Yeah, it's a proper free for all in our place. But I'm also lucky as well that, like, my boss, he's a bit more like one of the lads rather than a boss. He's sound. He's really good. So it's we all get on really, really well. Both my managers have done my job. Yeah. Really, and they both listen. And they've both got they've got stuff in the pipeline over the next 2 years for myself, so I won't be leaving. Yeah, I think it's I don't know. I think maybe what I'd like to do actually is probably go down to like a 3-day week or something. And that way I'll get the best of both worlds. I can get to enjoy my stuff at home and give me that, because I do need more time to do my stuff at home. That is the problem. I do need more time.
So it's if I could go down to maybe a 3-day week, then that would sort of like keep some of the money coming in, keep me occupied work-wise, and I'll still have the benefit of time at home, you know.
I suppose that's the thing with YouTube. You know, you never know what will happen with YouTube. It's not 100% secure from what I've seen the bigger people. Do you know what I mean? You just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to watch one guy and he used to get millions of views, and now he's lucky if he gets 1,000.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know, everything has its sell by date, and you know, people get bored or fed up or whatever, and yeah, there's always things to sort of make a difference. Yeah, you know, there is no guarantees. There is no guarantees.
In what we do, 98,000 subscribers is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean,
unbelievable.
It is incredible, and even now I sort of sit there and I can't believe it. You know, it's just mental. But yeah, it's I think it's also as well. I mean, it's a lot of work in itself as well, because you know you've got to actually you got to produce stuff every week and do stuff, and it's difficult not to sort of go over the same old stuff. You know, it's it's not an easy thing.
I've thought about the old stuff. It's like the old videos don't really get shown to new subscribers.
No, I think my excuse me, my what do you call it? I'm going to come back into the likes. I'm sitting in the dark. The my yeah, because your old videos are still generating, aren't they?
Yeah,
you know,
somewhat.
They still they still add to your views, your comments, and everything else. So there's there's lots of stuff sort of like still going on with it all. But and if once you're monetized, you're they become monetized as well. So you know, even your old stuff is still sort of earning to some degree. But yeah, I think people get a funny idea about how YouTube works in terms of money, and it's not a straightforward thing. You know, everything is tied in. So, you know, you know every little thing, and this is why, you know, for YouTubers they always say, like, you know, like and share the videos and stuff like this, you know, because it does make a difference, because every time someone likes it, every time someone puts a comment down, it adds to the algorithm, and it's the algorithm that you're feeding, and that is what generates you income, if you like, you know. But then it's interesting that I've done videos in the past where I do a video and I'll be really excited about it, and I think to myself, this is going to be a really good video. I reckon we'll get a lot of likes, and you know, people will really enjoy this. And it's been an absolute flop. You know, people just didn't like it. You know, I thought it'd be really cool, but it's been useless. And then others, I've done videos before where I've literally thrown them together, literally come into my room, quickly done a video, gone back, edited, put it out. I've done the whole bloody thing in an hour. And it's been a major success. You know, people have gone off their heads over it. You know, gone mad. And I sort of think, you know, I wish I could understand what excites people and what doesn't. You know what I mean? It's a difficult thing.
I think it just depends on YouTube myself, what they want to push out.
Yeah.
I know each year, this time of year, my views drop a lot. And then as soon as the end of the summer, my views go back up again.
Yeah, what you will find, what I find anyway, is that school holidays play a big part. You'll find when the kids are off school, you don't quite get the views that you did when everyone was working, which is weird. But I would
as well.
Yeah, I imagine that it's people are watching it on their phones. So when they go on break and stuff like that, they probably, you know, they maybe watch a bit of the video or whatever. But when the kids are at home, they're all too busy looking after the kids and going out and visiting places or whatever, you know. So they're not using that time to sit on YouTube.
Nope.
Whereas when you're at work and you can't go nowhere else, it's easy to sit and watch something on YouTube, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Need to fuck off because I'm gonna go to fucking bed.
Before you fuck off, Chris, because do be a king. Can I ask, says Michelle, can I feed crickets and dubia roaches on baby chicken food or guinea pig food?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's not medicated. That can end up badly.
That's what I feed mine, chicken pellets.
I've lost a lot of my dubies because of that.
Yeah.
Mine, same as what Chris does. After Chris had so much success, it was just obvious it works.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Great to play when you need to chill. And then the last comment that we're reading out this evening is from Sarah. Says, never hurts to redo older videos, though, especially with new people coming into the hobby and as more info comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Good night, everyone. And I'll see you all on Friday.
Night, Chris.
Yeah.
See you in a bit.
It's been lovely having a chat.
I'll wait for you to turn the
line. We'll make a move. I need to go and hit the sack now.
Appreciate you coming on. Always good. Always good catch up.
Oh yes, and look forward to Bristol.
It was just a fantastic live because I just get to sit back and listen to the floods of information that come. really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Loads of obviously positive comments and.
No, that's really cool. I enjoy it. Yeah. No,
we're on spiders, not just on screen with yourself, but in the comments.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's been some cool stuff in the comments.
And that popping in.
Yeah.
It's always good. Always good.
No, we should do another one.
Definitely.
Good,
and I'll try and turn up on time this time.
Where is he? Then I messaged you a couple of times, and then I thought that he's finished work late, and then I thought, I'll give him a quick call, make sure he's remembered.
Yeah, good job you did, and all. I'd literally been in like 5 minutes, and I just literally grabbed a bit of food, and then my phone went. I was like, "Who the hell's that now?" And I was like, I completely forgot. I've had a mad day. It's been a crazy day, and it don't help with my my memory whatsoever.
I'll just make the day before next time.
Yeah. You can always ring me anytime. Anyway, I'm always about.
Appreciate it.
But no, we're all right. All right then, guys. I shall see you all later.
Night, everyone.
Have a good one. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.
There we go. Click the button.